Welcome back to our exploration of Corvallis history. Today, we're uncovering the fascinating intersection of a house, a railroad, and a tragedy. Our journey begins at this beautiful, yet perhaps a little character-rich piece of Corvallis history, the Gibson House. Let's be honest, this house has seen better days. It might look a little haunted, like something out of a spooky movie, but don't let appearances fool you. There are no ghost stories or spooky happenings here. It's simply an old house that needs some TLC to bring it back to its former glory. Our story actually starts before the house was even built. In 1879, 13 years before the Gibson House was constructed, a right-of-way for a rail line to Portland was granted right down the center of what is now 6th Street, right in front of where the house would eventually stand. Then, in 1885, the rail line was extended all the way to Yaquina Bay on the coast. This connection to the Pacific Ocean opened up new possibilities for trade and transportation, sparking a period of prosperity for Corvallis. It was during this boom that the Gibson House was built in 1892. This 2.5-story wood frame home is a beautiful example of the Queen Anne style. Notice the steeply pitched hip roof, the classic shiplap siding, and the 1/1 double-hung sash windows. A hallmark of the Queen Anne style is the use of colored glass, which you can see in the top-story windows on the front. And if you look closely at the windows on the north and south sides, you'll see some beautiful decorative art glass. That large chimney with the corbelled top is another striking feature. The inviting open porch extends across the front and partially along the north side. And above the entry, a charming small balcony with a gable roof adds to the home's character. Check out the decorated eaves and overlapping shingles on the balcony gable and the main front gable. Beautiful craftsmanship. A band of vertical milled boards wraps around the house between the first and second stories, adding another layer of detail. Although we can't tour the interior today, it's worth noting that the entry hall features a grand staircase leading to the second floor. This home has been divided into apartments since the 1920s, reflecting its changing role in the community. For many years, this house was home to the Pinkerton family. Mr. Pinkerton was the manager of the McCready Lumber Company outlet here in Corvallis. And that brings us to another fascinating part of Corvallis history. In 1909, the McCready brothers established a sawmill at the confluence of the Marys and Willamette Rivers on the south side of town. This sawmill grew into the Corvallis Lumber Company, a major local employer for many years. The sawmill operated until 1955, leaving behind a legacy of industry. But the story of this land goes back much further. In 1993, this area, once a bustling industrial site, was transformed into Shawala Point Park, a beautiful green space shaded by cottonwood trees. The park is named after Shawala, a prominent member of the Kalapuya people, the original inhabitants of this land. This confluence, where the Willamette and Marys rivers meet, held special significance for them. It was a summer camp, a place to fish and gather resources, a perfect landing spot for their canoes. The Willamette River was their highway, their lifeline. But the arrival of European traders brought devastating changes. Diseases decimated the Kalapuya population, reducing their numbers from thousands to just a few hundred. Then, in 1856, the government forcibly removed the Kalapuya people from their ancestral lands, forcing them to walk hundreds of miles to a reservation on the coast. This tragic event, known as the Oregon Trail of Tears, was a horrific ordeal, with many people dying along the way. Here, at the confluence of the rivers, Indian agent George Ambrose documented the hardships of that journey in his diary on March 20th, 1856. He described the heavy rains and the exhaustion of the people. Today, Shawala Point Park stands as a place of peace and reflection, a place to connect with nature and remember the tragedy that unfolded here. As for the railroad, which proved unprofitable, it was sold to Southern Pacific in 1907. Sections of the line were abandoned in the 1990s. Today, the Portland and Western operates a line from Albany to Toledo. So there you have it, a glimpse into the history of this Queen Anne house. From its steeply pitched roof and shiplap siding to the colorful and art glass windows and that impressive chimney, this house whispers stories of a bygone era. It's a reminder that even ordinary homes can hold extraordinary beauty and historical significance. The next time you're in the area, take a moment to appreciate the craftsmanship and detail of this wonderful example of Queen Anne architecture. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more glimpses into local history.